My name is Joshua and I work for Cogat. We're a digital media agency in Brighton and I'm a producer there.
I'm Bren, I'm the creative director at Mint Design Associates. We're a graphic design company in the Brighton area.
Hiya, I'm Caroline. I work for Wired Sussex and I'm their recruitment and internships manager. And what Wired Sussex do is we kind of act as a community for all of the digital media and technology-based companies in Sussex.
What general skills do young people need when starting their first job?
Be flexible, not to arrive in a position with a particular idea of what it's going to be like.
I suppose it might seem like common sense, but turning up on time.
Really need to have some good communication skills.
They come in one day, they might need to do a task they've never even heard of, but as long as they're willing to learn how to do that task, then they'll be made useful in the office.
Dressed appropriate to the office, some offices are quite smartly dressed, others are more casual like ours.
What skills, qualifications and experience would a young person need to have on their CV to increase their chances of getting a job in your sector?
Generally we like to say, graphic design qualifications. I have to say I started the hard way. I started making tea in a company, and 2 years into making tea I decided that I actually needed to get qualified, and I went and did a college course. The best route is education. It is to have the skills already there when you turn up for the interview. If you're in competition with several other people for a job and you're the only one that isn't qualified, you're probably least likely to get the interview.
Showing some kind of passion for what you want to get into is probably just as important as actually having qualifications.
For instance, I work for a digital media company, so if you could show that you, even that you're interested in computer games and that sort of thing.
What we look at is somebody's portfolio and body of work.
If you want to be a journalist, I would hope to see that you've already gone one step further and you've set up your own blog, or you've been engaged in social media and have a Twitter following or something like that.
And you can evidence that somewhere on your CV, that's equally valuable.
In our particular area we're quite often looking for people who've honed their own skills as well. Back at the time when I was looking for work without any qualifications, I made up my own work, I made up my own clients, and I did the work so I could show people what I could do. And that's what got me in the first door, and ever since I've not looked back really. The industry standard in graphic design is definitely the Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Dreamweaver, that sort of thing. Photoshop and Illustrator I would say are essential skills.
What should a young person in Brighton and Hove do to improve their chances of getting a job in your sector?
Differentiate yourself from all the other people applying for the same position. So there's the sort of obvious answers, like I really like websites, but then if you can sort of specialise a little bit, make yourself a bit more memorable, like I'm really interested in animation or web-based films, for instance.
Well, we're in the business of grabbing people's attention through advertising, marketing, that kind of thing, and that's the sort of flair we look for in a person. Somebody recently sent us a CV that was packaged with a little computer keyboard key they'd got off a scrapyard or something, but they called themselves a letter that was one of the keys, and they sent us that key as a little badge, and it obviously showed some creativity and a little bit of flair, and that's what we like to see.
Most people aren't aware of this, but actually of all the jobs out there, surprisingly, it's been said that there's actually only about 10% of jobs that are ever advertised. That means that there's about 90% of jobs that people obtain through other channels. You've got to be proactive and you've got to think of other ways of finding work rather than just applying for what you see online or in newspapers. For example, that could be by approaching companies directly, or it might be networking or finding other ways of engaging with potential employers rather than just waiting for them to almost come to you.